Right now at 7, it is a KGW weather impact alert day as temperatures spike once again in the Portland area. How long the heat will be sticking around.
Also ahead, a follow-up on a near disaster in the Willamette National Forest. What we're learning about a suspected arsonist. Plus,
I was just really floored for one who steals a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, that's the question, right? As police try to track down a thief who stole from a local Paralympian. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko. Our top story this evening, what we're calling a weather impact alert day, is the extreme heat and near triple-digit temperatures return to the Northwest. Right now, you're looking at 96 at KGW as we start to cool from an uncomfortable and even dangerous day, especially for the most vulnerable.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino is here now tracking today's highs. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Christine. Yeah, and it is good that we're beginning to cool off now that we're getting into the evening hours just after 7 p.m. But it is going to be a very warm night. The humidity is elevated a bit. That keeps our temperatures from falling as much as they would. Meanwhile, up at Timberline, I'm showing you this scene because look how hazy it is. You cannot see Mount Jefferson. Wildfire smoke to the south continues to push north. It's cooler up at 6,000 feet at Timberline Lodge at 78. But in Portland today, we hit 99. That's a new record for the date, breaking the old record by 1 degree. Today's old record is a bit of an outlier. Most of the records now and through the first half of August are over 100, which they hit. In Hillsborough, Troutdale, Hood River all made 100 degrees, triple digits pretty much across the board east of the Cascades. The coast, the only cool area, 60s south and 80s on the north coast. So some relief there for sure. Our heat advisory continues for another 4 hours till 11 o'clock tonight. Then it will be allowed to expire as we cool off enough. And tomorrow we're going to be cooler, about 5 degrees. We will stay below not only 99, but we should stay below 95. Now, the haze that we experienced today also stays with us as those wildfires continue to pump smoke into the air. So sunny, hot, and hazy again tomorrow, but not as hot. We'll be watching for thunderstorms in southern Oregon, but the weather impact alert, which we are calling today, and that continues through tomorrow because of the heat, the hot night, and the warm weather tomorrow. Make sure you hydrate. There is a big heat risk for those who are susceptible to heat-related injuries. Christine, David, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. We'll see you in a few. And as Matt just mentioned, the return of the heat comes during what is already a very active wildfire season in Oregon, where we've seen more than 1,000 fires burning this year.
Yeah, environmental reporter Cale Williams is here. And Cale, you looked into why this season is much worse than our previous season. What'd you find?
Yeah, Christine, it would be easy to say that it's just climate change or it's just forest management or that we just haven't been doing enough prescribed burning. But the truth is, it's not any one of those things. It's all of them.
We're affected by smoke every morning pretty heavily.
Jason Kessling is the manager of the Harney County Soil and Water Conservation District, and he said the county has been turned upside down by wildfires.
There's a lot of evacuations and stuff going on, a lot of smoke, a lot of concern about what's just going on.
It's only August, and Oregon has already seen more than 1.3 million acres go up in smoke. But why? What makes for such an active wildfire season?
This year, we kind of had the combination of a cooler, wetter spring that leads to a lot of the fine surface fuel buildup.
That's John Bailey, a fire management professor at Oregon State. And while the cool, wet spring offers a partial answer, there are other forces at work, too.
The way we manage our forest is allowing these conditions to be able to foster and become these catastrophic fire.
For thousands of years, indigenous people used prescribed burning to clear the landscape of fuels. But aggressive fire suppression over the last century has left our forests overloaded with dry timber.
Attempting to do full suppression all the time, everywhere, just leaves all the fuel on the landscape. And if we don't substitute for the removal of that fuel, it's going to burn sooner or later.
And then there's climate change, which has altered the way we think about fire season.
And it's getting longer and hotter and drier with climate change.
In southern and central Oregon, the number of days per year that we see fire weather, hot and dry with strong winds, has increased by 23 since the early 70s. That's left us where we are today.
I think the level of this forest fire that we've had is kind of unprecedented.
But just because a problem is complex, that doesn't mean we should stop seeking solutions.
We're all in this together. It's going to take all of us working on these complex problems. It's going to require complex solutions.
Now, it's important to remember that things like climate change and forest management don't actually cause fires. Of the more than 1,200 fires that have started in Oregon this year, more than 70% were human-caused. So be careful with your cigarette butts. Don't park your car in dry grass, and do everything you can to make sure you aren't the cause of the next big fire. Christine, David?
Yeah, the vast majority of those fires, human-caused, exactly. Thank you so much, Kale. Speaking of which, meantime, a Lane County man is accused of intentionally starting a wildfire. Officials tell us he illegally dumped trash in the Willamette National Forest, then lit it on fire. Sydney Dorner is here now. And Sydney, especially this time of year, it is so fortunate this didn't turn into a huge fire.
Yes, Christine, it was just a small wildfire, but with dry conditions, it could have been much worse. Ricky Townsend is accused of pouring diesel fuel on trash and lighting it on fire. This happened back on July 6th when the Pacific Northwest was experiencing a deadly heat wave. It sparked a wildfire, but the Oregon Department of Forestry quickly contained it. Bureau of Land Management officials tell us Townsend admitted to the crime. He told them he grew concerned that his fingerprints would be on the garbage. So he went back the next day with a can of diesel fuel, lit it on fire, and then left while it was still burning. They emphasize how dangerous forest fires are during the summer here in the Pacific Northwest.
Whether it would be helicopter flying water to dump, getting an engine up there to go ahead and put the fire out, and the manpower associated with that, all that stuff is not free. So those costs get entailed or get put on top of not just the criminal offense nature of it. And those can grow rapidly into the hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars.
Now, Townsend was arraigned last month. He's due back in court on August 19th. David, back to you.
Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate that follow-up. Developing this evening, a Paralympian who competed in past games has been sidelined after he says someone stole his specialized prosthetic running leg at a Beaverton gym over the weekend. Devin Haskins caught up with him today. So, Devin, what did he tell you?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying he'd like it back. It's not only expensive, but he also wants it back so he can run Hood to Coast later this month, which he's training for. Now, he does have a prosthetic leg, but that one's only good for walking.
Richard Brown's life forever changed when he was just 16 years old. A wet floor caused him to slip and crashed into a plate glass window, severing an artery in his leg. And after more than a dozen surgeries and years of pain, he opted for amputation.
I go get it cut off, and it was like the best day ever the next day because I woke up in no pain.
Within 6 months, he started running and found out he was pretty good at it. At the age of 21, he took home the silver medal in the 100-meter dash in the 2012 London Paralympic Games. A couple years later, he would set the world record in that race. To say he's fast is an understatement. 2 years ago, he broke his own world record in the 100-meter sprint and also holds the fastest time in the world in both the 200-meter and 60-meter sprints.
My mom really instilled in me early, if you're going to do something, be the best at it.
Brown says he was here at this Beaverton 24-hour fitness location when he walked into the locker room, put his stuff in one of the lockers, walked away to use the bathroom. When he came back, everything was gone. His gym bag, his personal items, including his running prosthetic leg.
And what was funny is something said, Richard, lock it right now. Because my lock was right there, but I was just going to the bathroom real quick, and I was just like, all right, it'll be fine.
But without a specialized running leg like you see in this picture, he's having to adjust to a new way of life. The leg you see him here using is just for walking.
It's going to be tough with no responsive leg, so it's really just trying to be creative right now. That's the biggest thing, just being the most as adaptive and creative as I can until I can figure out my leg.
Thing is, the stolen prosthetic is only good for Brown's leg. Each one customized to the leg it's fit for.
I was just really floored for one, who steals a prosthetic leg? That it has really no value on the street. It's not like you can sell it on the black market or pawn it or anything like that. So.
Yeah, and I've reached out to Beaverton Police for any information on this case and have not heard back. I also reached out to 24-Hour Fitness. They too have not gotten back to me. Now, Brown says he has an idea of who stole it and gave Beaverton Police that person's description. He's now trying to raise enough money to buy a new one, but he says it'll cost about $15,000 to $20,000. Christine?
Whoever stole it, just bring it back. Come on. Okay, thank you so much, Devin. Still ahead tonight, the largest international prisoner swap in decades. What our local representatives are saying about the deal involving the U.S. and Russia.
Plus, we've got more highlights from Day 6 of the Summer Games, including Team USA adding to its medal count in the pool. We'll check in with our team in Paris.